We're going to make the ultimate movie poster frame. It can hold multiple sizes and can even store your extra movie posters. I've grown a fairly large collection of movie posters and I like displaying them, but I only have so much wall space in my house, so I rotate them out fairly often, but it's kind of cumbersome to change them and I never liked rolling them up and having to find somewhere to store them. So I came up with the idea for this frame that, all in all, would accommodate two standard poster sizes, 24 by 36 and 27 by 40. It makes hanging easy using a French cleat system, and it has storage for more posters while they're not being used that's safe and flat. Even though I am building this, I decided that it would be easier to start with an actual frame and just mod it instead, because I don't really have the skills to build a quality frame like this, and it probably would have ended up costing more anyway. I found this on sale at Hobby Lobby for about $50. We'll begin by making the frame that goes behind the poster frame and holds all the extra posters. I really wanted 1 inch of depth for poster storage. Even though wood generally comes standard at 3/4 of an inch or 1.5 inches, I felt that that was just too thin or too wide to be able to hold a good amount of posters and not look weird on the wall. So I was actually able to find some wood trim that had the actual dimensions of 1 inch by 4 inches. So I grabbed that and I ripped that down to 1 inch by 1 inch strips, although now that I'm thinking about it, you can probably find some square dowels and skip that step entirely. For the top French cleat, I ripped a piece that was 1 inch by 1.5 inches, and then I cut the 45-degree angle into the wider side. So if you've never heard of or done a French cleat, it's essentially a way of securing objects to a wall with a molding using a 45-degree slope. It's extremely strong and makes it easy to hang and remove objects. Look it up. You'll find tons of uses for the system once you know about it. Now we can assemble the frame that will store the posters. The interior dimensions you'll want to achieve are 27.5 inches by 40.5 inches. That'll give you just enough wiggle room to store a 27 inch by 40 inch poster back there. Make sure to use the French cleat piece you cut for the top piece of the frame as well. You'll want to mount this down about 1/2 inch or so from the top to account for the other piece of the French cleat as well. Make sure you get it nice and square. I just drilled some screws through the side to hold it together, but there's probably a more elegant solution and way to do this where you can actually hide the screws, but after I painted mine, the screws are really hardly visible at all. So next you want to paint the frame you built to match your poster frame. Mine's black, so I painted my frame black to match. And don't forget to paint the other half of your French cleat as well. Then we'll attach the top part of the French cleat to the top of the poster frame. This is why you want a wooden poster frame as opposed to a plastic one or something, so that you can actually drill and screw and solidly mount this cleat into it. Now we'll cut some matboard, which allows us to use a 24 by 36 poster in the 27 by 40 inch frame if you want to. Generally, a frame or map overlaps the photo behind it by 1/4 inch or so on each side. So 1/2 inch total. So cut your matboard to have an exterior dimension of 27 by 40 to fit in the frame and an interior dimension of 23.5 inches by 35.5 inches. It can be a little tricky. Just utilize a straight edge and clamps, go slowly, and you'll be fine. Or you can have this professionally done because it is tough to get precisely perfect. Now we'll cut some foam board so that we can use it to hold and store our extra posters. We'll use Neodymium magnets that are actually for name tags in order to secure the posters to the foam board. Begin by cutting the foam board down to 27.1/8 inch by 40.1/8 inch. Next, draw a 24 by 36 rectangle in the middle of that foam board and adhere a metal strip from the name tag magnets in each corner. Now it's time to hang the poster storage frame right on the wall. You're able to position it wherever you'd like and then drill screws right through the frame directly into studs in the wall, which makes it really solid. And be sure to get it mounted level and square. Then go ahead and pop your favorite movie poster into the frame. You can use a 27 by 40 inch poster, or you can use the mat you made to mat it down to a 24 by 36 inch if you want. I found that a small piece of artist tape helped on the corner when you're using the mat. Then grab your collection of extra movie posters that you want to store, place them on the foam board, line them all up, and use the magnets to secure them. The magnets are really quite strong and can hold probably about 20 posters. They can even hold the mat when you're not using that. You can then place your poster storage board directly into the storage frame on the wall. I found that putting the foam board side out worked well. Then all you have to do is hang up the poster frame onto that using your French cleat. It's really nice and simple. Overall, this works really well. It holds about 20 posters and then stores them safely and flat. It's much easier than rolling them and unrolling them. And I really like that it accommodates the two most common poster sizes. It's fun to go shopping and buy movie posters and know that I'll actually have a place to store them and display them. We love changing them out to match the holidays with horror movies for Halloween time, Christmas movies for Christmas. I feel like there could be some improvements because it's still a little bit tedious to change out the posters, but I'm just not quite sure what those improvements are yet. Please let me know if you have any ideas for improvements, and also let me know if you end up building this.